Joining us now, one of the lawmakers who will be in that briefing today, Democratic Congressman Gregory Meeks of New York, ranking member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. It's good to see you, Congressman. What are the key questions you want answered?
I want to know what the plan is the day after. How long will he be there? Will there be troops on the ground? What was the need for to go to war now? Whether or not there was a immediate need, a threat to the United States. I need to know that. Are we there for regime change? Are we there because of nuclear weapons? Are we there because of ballistic weapons? Are we there for democracy for the people of Iran? He says till his goals are accomplished. I don't know clearly what those goals are. And what does that mean? And that should be a plan. In fact, you should have had that plan before we go in, because in my mind, if you don't plan, if you fail to plan in the beginning, then you plan to fail. And so I want to know what those answers to those questions are.
Well, just last hour at the White House, the president did give an update on, I guess, what you would say are his goals, or what he sees as American goals for the war in Iran. Let me play that for you.
Our objectives are clear. First, we're destroying Iran's missile capabilities, and you see that happening on an hourly basis, and their capacity to produce brand new ones, and pretty good ones they make. Second, we're annihilating their Navy. We've knocked out already 10 ships. They're at the bottom of the sea. Third, we're ensuring that the world's #1 sponsor of terror can never obtain a nuclear weapon.
Bottom line, he says basically that America is safer. Americans are safer. Is he making a strong case?
He's not making a case at all. What happens next? What happens if it's complete chaos on the ground? We've seen before, and I was in Congress with the war in Iraq, where there was mission accomplished on the first couple of days. And then many Americans later died at the cost of their lives and money from the American people. And the region still has not stabilized as a result of it. So what is the plan, and what are we doing different this time? Is he going to put and willing to put troops on the ground? He kind of dodged that question, saying, well, I'll do what I want to do. And it seems to me, as he continues to try to do, he thinks he can do whatever he wants to do without coming to Congress and working with us and giving us those answers. And so we're going to demand those answers. I'm going to demand them today at the meeting that we have. And I'm sure members, when we have the full House meeting with the president on Tuesday, many of my colleagues will be doing the same.
The president didn't answer any questions today at the White House, but when pressed about plans going forward, exactly what you're asking about, Secretary Hegseth said, it's a fallacy that the administration should tell the American people and our enemies exactly what we'll do. Is there a way Americans can be told why this operation is being conducted without risking, showing our hand to the enemy?
Yeah, look, we did that before. As I said, the Iraq War. What we did was George W. Bush did come to the American people. He came to Congress, secretaries of states. We had hearings within and on the Foreign Affairs Committee. I had access to some classified information in a SCIF. I had access to the Pentagon. And then they went out to do, I ended up in Iraq voting no. Because I didn't see the connection between the 9/11 and Iraq, as well as weapons of mass destruction being an imminent danger to the United States of America. I had the same kind of situation in Afghanistan. Hearings had president laying it out, coming to Congress. And in that situation, I was convinced that there was a nexus to 9/11 and that there was imminent threat. And I voted for that. So this president cannot act in an individual bases, creating wars around the world without coming to Congress. Look, he's breaking his own promise where he said that he would not create wars and having these endless wars going on. And it seems that he's moving in that direction. And I guess that's why he wanted to rename the Defense Department, where we're talking about defending America, to the War Department, where we're talking about going out and having war with everyone, which is what this administration seems to be doing.
Congressman Gregory Meeks, we thank you so much for coming on the program. Appreciate it.